Hello everyone, and welcome to yet again another Friday new product post here at SparkFun Electronics. We've got a lot of appealing new products this week that you're going to go ape over. So let's see what we've got for this week. So first up, we've got this kit. This is the Logic Blocks kit. The Logic Blocks kit is a very simple little kit that we've put together to teach you basic logic. So if you've never programmed before, code is based on very simple and statements, or statements, things like that. So if this is this, then do this. This kit consists of all these little pieces that you connect together to get an idea of how logic works. Now all these little pieces are individually packaged. We just separate them for the video and make it easy to see. So you start out with like a power block, which is right there, and then you would connect that into something like an AND block. You know, you've got a NOT, you've got a digital input, you've got ORs, things like that. So let's say you have a digital input that is saying, you know, I'm 0 or I'm 1, I'm on, I'm off. You throw that into an OR, and it's like, if this is this or this, then do this. So it's just a really simple way to introduce you into, once again, basic logic. In addition to all these different pieces that we have, we've also got coin cell battery, this little wire connector that comes with it, and then this handy instructional booklet. The instruction booklet is actually very detailed and quite long. It's a lot longer than most of our booklets that we do, and it explains all the different blocks, how they work, and this whole kit altogether gives you a really good idea of logic. So if you're looking to just start out with electronics, this might be a good little kit to look into. Check out the guide. We'll have this posted on the product page, and we will be coming out with a video tutorial, and there is going to be a tutorial on the product page. So go ahead and check out the Logic Blocks kit. Next up, we've got this. This is probably very familiar to many of you. This is the Raspberry Pi Model B. We decided to start carrying this because we're actually going to be carrying some hardware to support this, and we thought it might be a good idea to just go ahead and carry the board at the same time. If you're not familiar with what the Raspberry Pi is, it's basically a really versatile embedded computer. You've got all sorts of stuff on here. You've got HDMI out, you've got audio, you've got just a composite video, and then you also have some input and outputs here too. So it's kind of like what the old Chumby board used to be, what the Beagle board used to be, but a lot cheaper and a lot more versatile. So check out the Raspberry Pi if you're looking to do any kind of embedded computing. If you're running to do something with Linux, things like that, check this guy out. In addition, we also have a ribbon cable, as well as this simple just shrouded connector that goes with the ribbon cable. And this connects into the header on the Raspberry Pi, so you can connect that in and use the shrouded connector to connect to your own breakout board. This is where all the input and output pins are, so these two pieces gives you really easy access to that. We might be coming out with a breakout board for this, so then you can have really easy access to those pins and start doing all sorts of great stuff. Moving right along, we've got the Learn to Solder Big Time. The Learn to Solder Big Time is a little bit different from the regular Big Time in that it gives you everything you need to put together the Big Time watch. This is hopefully one of many products that we're going to have in the Learn to Solder product line, where you can take just this, not have any existing tools, and build the kit. So let me open it up and show you what's inside. First up, we've got the actual Big Time watch kit. We've talked about this kit several times on the product videos, and it's you know, this great little watch kit. But in addition to that, we've also got some flush cutters. We've got some safety goggles, of course. We've got the base to the soldering iron and some wick. We've got the little handle holder dealy. And then we have the actual soldering iron itself. Everything you need to build this kit is inside the kit. And we even have a nice little instruction manual in there, and we put it in this nifty red box. So if you're looking to give the Big Time as a gift, or even do the Big Time watch yourself but don't have all these extra tools, instead of buying a toolkit and this, you can just buy this and you have everything you need to put the watch together. Next up, we've got the new EL sequencer. This is the new version that follows in the footsteps of the new revision of the ElEscudo DOS, and this guy is all opto-isolated and been redesigned and is a lot easier and a lot better to use. In addition to the opto-isolators, we've also got an XB header on here. We even have the NRF header, so if you want to use it with the Nordic products, you can go ahead and do that. It's all nice and labeled, and it's just a lot easier to use and a lot better. So if you're wondering what the difference between the ElEscudo is and the EL sequencer, it's pretty simple. The ElEscudo is a shield for Arduino, where the EL sequencer is a completely standalone product that has an Arduino on board. So you can plug this in, it acts like an Arduino, you can use the Arduino IDE directly to program this, and then all you do is plug in your wires here, plug in your inverter, and you're good to go. We've got a basic little demo set up for this, so let's see what it looks like in action. So we've turned out the lights to show you just this basic demo of the EL sequencer. We've got all these different EL panels that we sell plugged directly into here. We've got the EL sequencer itself. We've got one of our bigger inverters that we've actually rewired with a JST connector, and then we have a JST connector here going back to just a basic 12-volt wall wart. And we've just got a simple thing of code running that just cycles from one to the other to the other. So this is a really easy way to use the EL sequencer. As you can see, we don't need an Arduino or anything else, and you could even send commands to this from an XB or a Nordic and get your commands that way. This next product is something that is not very typical for us to carry, but we decided to give it a shot, especially with the holiday season and everything coming up. This is the Sphero. What the Sphero is it's this ball that you talk to with your smartphone and you drive it around. It's as simple as that. And it sounds very simple, but it's actually really complicated to accomplish that. Inside, it's got gyros, accelerometers, and magnetometers, and a whole bunch of other sensors with this motor assembly. And when you drive it with your phone, you can use it with your finger, like a little joystick. It will drive. So it's actually pretty interesting how it does that. They also have a lot of augmented reality applications to where you can point your tablet or your phone at the Sphero. It can recognize the Sphero and then, put a dragon over top of it or something like that. So it's an interesting accomplishment. One of the reasons we're carrying this is Sphero is actually designed as a development platform for the technology that's inside this ball. There's a lot of interesting things about the IMU that this uses, and they're looking at it as a development platform. So if you're looking to develop any technology like this, you might want to take a look at the Sphero. We're going to bring it downstairs and we're going to drive it around and maybe give you a peek about what's inside of it. So here we've got the Sphero, we've turned it on, and we're going to drive it around just to show you how it works. You want to see how this thing works? Let's crack it open and see exactly how this thing works. So here it is all opened up. We've got the Bluetooth module right there. It's actually an RN42, which is kind of cool. We've got the main circuit board right there. And then here is just the basic motor assembly. So it's a pretty clever little design in that it just fits in the cup, and then this little thing just holds it against the top. Lastly, we've got these two products. This is the Hexapod Kit and the Hexapod Controller. So this comes with everything you need to build your own Hexapod. Comes with this little base plate. We've got a ton of servo motors here. Actually 2 per leg, so 12 altogether. And then we have these little bumpers, which are the feet. And then we have these little plastic bits, which end up being the joints for the legs. And they kind of have an interesting way of hooking together. Each joint is the same, and servo motor goes in like that, and another servo motor goes in like that, and they form this nice articulating joint. And then we've got this, which is the controller. And really what this is just a controller that is designed for controlling a lot of servos. This controller can do 48 servos total. It comes with the Arduino bootloader, so you can plug it in, program it just like an Arduino, and you can connect a ton of things on here. At the core is an Atmega 1260, so has a lot of inputs and outputs on it. So the controller plus this equals, this is Stampy. Stampy is our little spider friend. So as you can see, Stampy has the 2 servos per leg. We've dressed him up a little bit for Halloween. So we've got all the servos there, we've got the multiple joints, we've got the little feet on there, and underneath this little bonnet we've got the controller. What we've done is we've actually just used the sample code that comes with this controller, and it's now controlled with this little remote. There we go, walks forward, and we can make him spin. Seeing as Dave doesn't like spiders, we decided to show Dave Stampy and see what he thinks. So there you have it, another Friday new product post. This is a long one, and I've actually got to go and split, so we'll see you again next week with even more new products.